That's where you probably heard like every health person talking about like the vagus nerve, which is right, that little divot underneath your ear there, right at the joint. Just kind of doing a little extra through there, and you can give it a little shake. And then just down again. I'm going behind the ear. And here's more muscular. Or like in the temporals, you can go in there. You're not going to be cupping it anyway, so giving it a little more pressure can feel nice. If they have sinus buildup or anything, they might have some clicking and popping going on in their ears. And being mindful of any earrings they might have. And I can give a little tugs. And I have no oil at this point. You can add some oil if you want here, just to help it flow down a little bit smoother. I feel like doing it without, sometimes you can feel that drag a little more. You're not sliding on the skin, you're actually like kind of giving it the nice pull.
You want the drag more.
Yeah, and it's just, it's hard to tell looking at it, but I mean, I'm not really doing pressure, I'm just kind of dragging the skin a little bit. Yeah, you can change it. I mean, again, if you do have any tension, you can pick your head up and then do it down this direction as well. Can you just switch up like what part of your hand? Using a knuckle versus finger. I mean, otherwise you're like, okay, am I doing it at a weird angle? Just switching that up. You can always switch if you do have tension, then just hold something with a little more pressure if you want. And that's where like using one hand and then going to one side to the next is kind of nice. It'd be hard to do this two-handed.
As teachers, you guys can get those little like fine flashlights but have camera and GoPro on it, so you just film it from your perspective at all times. Yeah.
That seems like it'd be nauseating. It's like anything that's the crap that goes on in my head on a daily basis. A notch underneath the jaw, and you kind of work along the jawline. And so these same kind of techniques, the little like, so you think of like this is like the hold and release, and then I could kind of do some little swoops in there afterwards. Going across again. And switch up the angles if you want to a little bit. Just always going middle to lateral, and then giving a little swoop down the neck. So when you work next to somebody's mouth, it feels like most people try to like move their mouth around like it's almost awkward for people, and then sometimes others will, no matter how many times you come closer to their eyes, they flinch every single time. It's just a reaction. Sometimes they don't even notice they're doing it, so I don't know. I guess it's pretty common. It's coming at your face.
Stop moving.
You can do kind of. So for this, like you'd go up more on the nose to come out. You can come down this direction and then up on the nose. And I don't know if you can tell, but like I'm using her head to brace my hands. So sometimes it's better than if you're trying to like plot. You can just kind of brace, and it kind of has that nice little hugging effect on the top of their head. I mean, don't like, you know, lean over with your elbow on their forehead or anything, but sometimes a nice little, just kind of, it's down. You can do where everything you do has 3 swipes, or 2 swipes, or do 2 and then do a lift and release. and then do another 2, like whatever your patterns or things you want to do. For me, I just kind of feel around to see what they might like, if they have tension, or just what works for me in that moment. I kind of start where my fingers will kind of flow down together. I'm going to add in some quicker ones. I'm going to add in some tapping. Sometimes the tapping can be nice, especially if you do have the sinus. And swoop.
Alright, before and after. Boom.
Gonna be just glowing.
That was really awesome.
Yeah.
And we haven't even got to the cupping part.
I almost fell asleep. I think I felt it.
Honestly, I watch videos like this sometimes just to relax.
Yeah.
Living vicariously.
Yeah. Honestly, there's like a ton of ASMR videos that are just massage or cupping. Or both. Alright, so, and again, starting here, and just do just across. If you're talented and you want to do both sides at once, go for it. If you're uncoordinated like me, do one at a time. You can use the silicone ones, or a smaller size, or a bigger size, whatever you want. Just do that a few times, and you can start working down little bits.
Fully letting the ball go, right?
And honestly, like, so my thumb started to cramp, so you can switch up like the different directions of it as well.
Yeah, those little balls are a little.
Doing the different directions as you're going down to kind of break it up too. Don't forget about going like the back. You have all those lymph nodes back. Just back off.
Oh, go farther.
Yeah.
That's where it's starting to kind of pull. You can use your anchor. And I can work up more into her jaw. And your lift and release can just be like small little glides, like.
How does that feel?
Amazing. Who would have thunk it?
So if you were going to be doing more TMJ, you can let it sit in there more and give it more of a little tug. You can have her opening her jaw. And then sliding down along a little bit differently. And I mean, I'm getting some decent suction anyways, but like that's a little bit more. If I wanted to, I could.
Which one do you have?
This is the one I'm using.
Oh, okay.
But I could use this big guy if I'm doing the TMJ more.
Can you give me a hickey?
So you're right on the masseter now?
It's like I know it's there, but as soon as I move, I'm like, oh god, it really is close.
Surprise!
Well, and I try to do it so that I have suction, but I don't want to do like a ton. Like if I was doing scar tissue or a different area of the body, I would let it sit there underneath a little bit. Underneath isn't always as easy unless you have lots of chins like me. But I mean, honestly, this is face cupping. You can play around with it, instead do little patterns of however you want to do it. Do a couple like that and then do where you slide. Making sure you have at least a little bit of an anchor to do the slide. Not really on your lip, but you could do your lip too. Give her some
Stop smiling.
Kylie Jenner. Should I give you some Kylie Jenner lips?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm not gonna have to after this class. We're gonna be plumped up and ready to go. Look at that. Rejuvenated.
That's all, folks.
Unless they have Botox, of course. And she's back.
Getting pretty good pull there.
Mm-hmm. I'll just put some lotion.
Can't just give them natural blush on the cheeks too.
Mm. Yeah, so like certain areas it just doesn't want to go across. And I mean, right in here it's just a tighter area. It doesn't have a whole lot to grab to. And instead of forcing it, I just pick it up. You can always use your hands in that area too. And then come back. And I'm only going to do one side of your head because you have somebody else that can.
Yeah.
So using it yourself, it's going to be hard to tell if it's actually pulling anything up. But let's see.
I'm not a huge fan, but I can feel it.
How about this one?
That one's probably better.
It's a nice tapping point too. I don't tap right on the head. I put a finger there and I tap with the other hand. And then you can do on this side.
It's like the chisel, my first contract.
You can do the same thing with your little... We need some more sound effects in here. Make a noise. Right there, that was good. And then once you've done up through the head, you can flush it. And across through here. Little gua sha tool. Especially if it's cool. Sometimes afterwards it can feel nice. And this you're not doing a lot of pressure. I mean, you're not using it as a scraper at this point. You're just using it to help kind of flush down. Same thing you can do with the cups. Oh, he did put the roller in there?
Yes.
Ooh, oh, thank you, sir. It's a beautiful presentation.
I didn't have any napkins to put it on.
Yeah, like, did our tissues go somewhere?
Yeah, I used the last of it the other
We
day.
have some downstairs, and we'll bring some up.
It's not like elementary school where you have to bring 3 boxes to class on the
Right.
first day of school.
And that only lasts you like the first couple of months.
If you have 2 of them, you can do it. You can use your hand with it. Whatever, and then brush them
Pretend
down.
like you're putting butter on.
Just lather it on there.
Nice Hawaiian
Take a
roll.
nice little roller. Oh, this is nice and chilly.
Hmm.
How's that feeling?
That's pretty cool. Did you put anything on it?
Mm-mm. You just put it in the fridge for a little
It's
bit.
just cold.
Yeah.
Just things like
And
this.
these and like the other gua sha tools, most of them will be a little cool to begin with anyways.
Sure.
Yeah, this is a little extra. You can switch it if you want to do the little one. Coming up by the face. If you're looking for that under eye care, Doing this at the end is nice because you have a nice cooling effect. Back and forth. My friends who will use two at the same time doing this, and I'm like, I have to concentrate too hard to do one. So, again, if you have coordination, go for it. I am not that person.
I don't know that I'd want two going on. I kind of like the one.
I don't know, if they were synchronized, that'd be pretty sweet.
Nice
The
one.
intentional.
Do that. I feel like these ones are just big. The what?
The heart-shaped cups that we've
Oh, yeah. I have a friend who has a whole pile of them. So for Valentine's Day, she was really throwing them on everybody. And you can end with more finger pressure if you want. I don't know why, but for me, the tapping is fun. Some people are like, what is going on? But
Waking you up.
won't even like, I'll mix and match it too, just. And for Bell's palsy, I haven't done cupping on anybody with it, but I have done massage. And I feel like switching it up with different techniques is helpful. Okay, end the way you started, if you want. I don't know. I would always take a scalp massage, so maybe I'm just biased. When people say they don't do them or they don't do anything on the face, it weirds me out. It's like, that is the best part. Any questions on face massage or cupping? Anything? No?
Not really.
You guys got it?
Yeah.
Hmm?
I feel like
Good?
that's the
Ready?
question.
Question?
Nice work. I'll give you a high five or something. That was wonderful.
Awesome. Well,
I don't think I expected that.
whoever wants